You were talking about human operating systems and their desire to hack into us and for increased dependency.
Yeah. So what I was saying on that topic was that I think my hope is that some of that is like just to mislead us and to get us to believe that they can do things they can't really do, because I don't believe that we're like machines. And that's always been this mechanistic view of like allopathic medicine, and that and just the elite who think that we're worthless, useless eaters, is that we're just like machines and they can program us and they can hack into us and they can change our so-called software. But I think half the battle that we're engaged in is this kind of mental and spiritual one, in that, do we believe that or not? And I think the problem is that, we shouldn't, I don't think it's possible to do really what they say. And the thing is, the promises of like, when people who are actually falling for this idea that we could live forever, or we can like prolong our lives and we can have better lives through the use of technology and through transhumanism, which is basically merging man and machine, I think those promises are going to fall really short of the mark and basically empty, like every other promise we've been made with modern medicine and technology of making our lives easier, giving us more leisure time, making us more prosperous, making us healthier. None of those things have happened, and the opposite has happened. So what I see is this degradation of humanity, and that's the path we're on. And so we're being degraded physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually, and these are all interconnected. And so what happens as we increasingly become dependent on technology and less on ourselves to do things, of course, we give away that power, and that enslaves us. And so what's going to happen is, on this path, and it's already happening, and for example, it's always this problem reaction solution, right? So we've got like the problem of like amputees now because of the vaccines. And so what's the solution? Oh, we can give you some great new like robotic arms, and like you can have bionic arms and legs. And of course, if you lost your arms and legs, you might be clamoring for something like that. You might say, yeah, that would be better than not having anything. Right. So when you create like a race of humans that are like actually that disabled, and then you offer them this technological solution, even though technology in the first place caused the problem, and people may not remember that, they'll sign up for that. So the next stage is then, will that work very well? Probably not. I mean, already people's bodies tend to reject anything that is foreign. So, any of these parts that we've already had, are problematic, when you get implants of any kind. So more so for some people than others. But what we're looking at, the plans are for this avatar future as well, not just like human cyborgs, but avatars, like literally. And we're already on our way there, because even you and I right now, we're using this platform, right? And there's all these Zoom meetings replacing in-person meetings. You can do so much more online now than you have to do in real life anymore. And so Japan had this like news article saying it actually was anticipating that 50% of its population would be living as avatars by the year like 2045, right? So that means that they will live at home. Just think of like the Surrogate movie with Bruce Willis, right? You live at home, you're hooked up to IVs and drugs, and your body doesn't really work anymore. So you just have your virtual reality headset, and you can have then like, and there's other articles I've seen besides that one, like promoting this, and all kind of happening along with the pandemic, was all these articles about how great it will be to like not have to go. One of them was like, do you want to go experience it, like being on a fishing boat in the high seas somewhere? You don't have to do it physically, because how uncomfortable would that be? You can have a robot out there for you, and you can tap into it with your virtual reality headset, and you can experience being inside the robot and then therefore fishing. And like people won't have to fish anymore. Robots can do it. So robots can start taking over all these tasks, and we can actually not just have one avatar robot like working for us, but many different ones. And we can like, with our, implants in our head and our headsets, we can actually like link up to these and then so-called experience life out there, because life out there is getting scary. There's germs, there's viruses. So why not just stay inside and then have these experiences that way? So there's the metaverse happening with Zuckerberg, the same idea, sim version of yourself online, you're at that kind of avatar, digital avatars. They're even talking about hologram versions of ourselves, not even having to exist physically anymore. They think that they can just make a digital copy of our brains, a twin brain, they call it, and that they think the brain is us, right? So all you have to do is make a digital version of your brain, and then you can have that as you living forever, and you don't have to have a body. You can have a hologram. You can live in virtual reality forever, so-called reality. But yeah, all kinds of fun options awaiting us.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right that they are working off a flawed premise, and that is going to be the thing that ultimately saves us. They don't even have a good concept of what consciousness really is. And so they're going to make all these technologies based off an incorrect model. And so many guests I have are saying that they're going to fail at all of these technocratic plans. The only question is, how much do we have to suffer before the majority of people realize that they're going to fail? And I think that's insightful. I think that is the answer to the question, or the question we need to answer. And you're right about having us live more digital lives. Yes, we're either too poor for real world experiences, or we're so unhappy with ourselves and stressed out that we need the escapism. Or like you said, we're afraid. It's like, well, why take the risk of a big crowd when I could just go to a Fortnite concert? It's kind of creepy. I don't really like seeing that kind of stuff. I heard another interesting premise recently that the reason why you're seeing all these tech industry layoffs, these massive layoffs, is because we're kind of at peak tech, where a lot of people have said, I don't need a new app. I don't need anything. I just need YouTube and the screen and a couple of content creators. And I'm just going to sit on my couch and stare at my phone and watch YouTube or stare at the TV. And I don't need any more advancements. And of course, capitalism, every company has to grow 10% a year or it's worth nothing, apparently. So people are kind of reacting, not that it's a good thing, because they're saying, well, I'm fulfilled by the screen and what I have now already. Like, that's obviously really bad. But it made me think a lot about how much I'm in front of screens and how much content I'm absorbing, because the tech companies are laying off hundreds of people while at the same time content creators are signing $70 million deals. Joe Rogan's signing a new $250 million deal. And it's like, that's interesting, because it's just all people want to do is watch something. They are unhappy with their lives. They are either sick or, like I said, too poor. I think that's the main thing, is people start to feel, I used to make that calculation with my video game systems. Like, I'll buy an Xbox because it's only $300. And then I'll buy a new game every couple of months, which is only $60. I'm keeping myself entertained for pretty cheap. But walking outside is free. Going to play Frisbee golf is free. This is the mental gymnastics we do to keep our addictions, really, our digital addictions.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because my next book that I'm in the middle of writing is about digital addiction. Technology addiction. And I think it's a really important topic right now, like maybe more than anything, because it's sort of, to me, the real trap, and even for myself, like you said, I start to think about a lot of this research I've been doing has helped me to analyze my own use of technology and reconsider and reevaluate, and also just like kind of forge a new relationship with it, which is like a kind of lessening of a relationship, breaking off from. But yeah, it's like I would say all of us have some level of addiction that we don't identify because it's so normalized and accepted. It's the most normalized, accepted addiction out there. Everybody has it. So, what's the problem? But like you said, like why are we not happy with our lives? Why are we always looking to escape? Are we going to define our lives as just like having been entertained? Oh, I had a great life. I was entertained the whole time. That's what I did. I mean, like what happened to like other things we could do that are more fulfilling? I mean, there's something to be said for like actually making some kind of effort in your life, and then having that fulfillment and satisfaction of like having done something, more than like achieving a new level in a game. That's not an achievement. Sorry, Greg, if you're a gamer, but
And they call them achievements too when you accomplish certain things in the game.
Wow.
Can you believe it, people? A video clip and a peek into how that sweet THC sausage is made. For some people, I'm sure it's nice to put a face to the name, so I started making clips that are a little more YouTube friendly than the full show tends to be. Get the full show on any podcasting platform. I prefer to keep it audio only, so we have a more decentralized distribution for a controversial show, and also so I can edit out the ums and ahs and barking dogs and all the things that happen when a person records in their home environment. And then if you really like the show, you can sign up for THC Plus, and instead of 1 hour interviews, you get the full 2 hour interview for just $8. I think that's a better deal, more of a win-win than asking you to support the show by booking a therapy session or buying generic Viagra. It's getting weird out there, folks. So just go to the highersidechats.com or click the link at the top of any set of show notes, and all your wildest dreams will come true. All right? All right.